Light is healing. In syncretism, the subject of light is crucial and fundamental. To understand how light works and its properties, and in particular its healing property, is so crucial with syncretism. This is why I'm with LifeWave. LifeWave understand light and how it works and how it heals. These patches emanate signals into the body. The body, being already self-wise, knows how to utilize those signals for regeneration, for energy, etc. So that's why I would say go LifeWave and go to the light.
Physician who's had my license for 40 years and had a very strong biochemistry background. I can say, and seeing what's happening with the X39, I can say without a doubt that this is the most significant medical breakthrough in my lifetime.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Quantum Light Codes Super Channel. This is Maria Bernardis here, and I have an amazing special guest that we'll welcome in a minute. But just to give you a bit of a flavor of what we're discussing today, as everybody knows, I'm all about quantum healing and quantum health. And this is the topic of discussion today: quantum health, quantum healing, how we can activate our stem cells. And as everybody knows, our stem cells and the DNA is so important in terms of health and our ascension that is incoming. And we're also going to address some other things such as pain management and really an amazing range of products that can help your body self-heal and do what it's meant to do, which is what God intended it to do, and that is to work in perfect order and harmony, being an ancient Greek word. So welcome, Dr. Nicholas. I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Pleasure is mine as well. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Dr. Nicholas, I just wanted to start by you just introducing yourself, what you do, and how you came across these amazing LifeWave products.
Sure. So my full name's Dr. Nicholas Tivley. I'm a chiropractor. I've been a chiropractor for 25 years. I found LifeWave almost 15 years ago. And so my business partner in practice at the time had a lot of health issues. So I won't talk diseases so we can stay compliant. So you can imagine she had whole body pain issues. She had chest pain issues in the hospital with that, digestive issues, eyesight issues. She was losing her eyesight, memory loss. It was really scary. So we're living a holistic, healthy lifestyle. And we had to change our practice around to where she could continue to see patients. And so we got into using low-level laser therapy, cold laser. And so I ran one type of practice and she would do a different type so she could literally rest in between and see a patient. And so that's kind of how we started doing things. And she had a patient come in one day and she gave her an article on Life Extension magazine. And it was written by Suzanne Summers. And it was on light therapy. So Joan's a big reader and she starts reading through the article. And it talked about her new book that was just came out called Breakthrough, 8 Steps to Wellness. So Joan's like, let's go get this book. And so we go over to the bookstore right after work and we start reading it, or she did. And it was every chapter in the book was a medical doctor being interviewed by Suzanne Summers on a different form of a non-pharmaceutical therapy that they were treating every kind of disease. So it was a fascinating read. And we're trying things as we were going through the book, and nothing really made any changes. But luckily she kept reading, and it was in like mid-October we came across the second to the last chapter in the book, which was on LifeWave. And now this is an interview with a scientist, not a medical doctor. So the technology was made for our military before 9/11. So this is how far back it goes. And interesting. So we were big followers of Suzanne Summers, and she's really controversial. And so we kind of trusted, if she's talking about it, it must be somewhat legit. So the hook for us was they have a patch that will elevate your body's glutathione levels. And this is what got our attention. So we were doing IV drips for Jones eyesight for detoxification, different things like that. But it will only elevate your levels like for a very short period of time, and it attaches to metals and chemicals and then leaches back out. So, but it's still very, very powerful. So when we read the chapter and it talked about this patch that will increase your levels 300% in 24 hours, I'm like, well, that's like medically unheard of. But what if it works? So we call the number in the back of the book. It's the same number it is today, and it's customer service. And we're asking them, how can we get this stuff? How fast? And they're like, well, how did you hear about it? I said, well, Suzanne Summers. They go, well, you've got to sign up under somebody. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. She goes, you can't do it under Suzanne Summers. And I didn't know what she was talking about. I just said, I just want to get it. She said, where do you live? And I said, in Tucson, Arizona. And she goes, well, I just talked to somebody in Phoenix. I'll set you up with an account under her. And I go, okay, still no idea what the heck I was getting into. So I got all the patches that were available at the time. And I put energy patches on her. I put ice wave pain patches. I put the glutathione, I put carnosine. And she didn't feel a thing. And I didn't really know what to expect, but I thought I'd see something. And I had no idea what was going on because no one ever talked to us about it. I just read the chapter. And so we thought, well, let's put some more on, thinking maybe that will do it. Still no change. And I said, well, maybe we just wasted a bunch of money. So I said, just leave them on and see if you notice anything later. So it wasn't until the evening I checked in on her and she was standing up. She was talking kind of fast and she looked better than I've seen her in a long time. And I said, are you feeling okay? And she goes, yeah, I feel great. And I go, okay, this is really weird because normally you're laying down, suffering, not feeling good. And I said, this is kind of a fluke. Let's just see what happens. I thought some bad things were happening because that's kind of what happens before you pass away. It's so weird it got. And so the next day, all of her floaters in her eyes were gone. So she could see better. She said, I can't believe how clear my vision is. I'm like, okay, this is really getting weird now. And she still had no pain and more energy. So we go back to work that day, and the same lady that brought her in the article about the book came in again, just complaining of being fatigued. And Joan's like, well, just put these on and tell me what you feel next time you come in. So she put the energy patches on her, and the lady had a lot of energy because she came back that same day with people wanting the patches. And they're like, I can't believe how I feel. And I want this, and so do they, and they want to share with people. And I'm going, share it with, what do you mean? And then we started finding out it's in a networking business, and we're like, oh no, it's going to kill our practice. We heard all these bad stories, but we never had an experience doing it. But I'm like, well, this is working so well. But it literally changed her health in a week. In a week, she was better than she was before she got sick. And all of our patients knew it, and they're like, what did you do? And I said, I don't know, but put these on and tell me what you feel. And one by one, where we're getting, I call them miracle changes. I mean, they're just mini miracles. And so between that and what we did as chiropractors, it was like this perfect marriage, and it made these huge healings. And this was back in 2008 when the economy was really bad from the housing market and whatnot. So it was like a huge referral boost. And then we were selling a ton of this stuff. And then we started like, okay, well, people want to sign up, go ahead. And people are joining like crazy. And it just went viral through our practice. And we were just very blessed. And it kind of gave us that boost again. But the best part was it changed her health. I mean, it was radical. So all of her problems were gone. And I'm like, I still couldn't comprehend it. It was kind of challenging my belief system so radically because I thought I was in the know with alternatives, energy medicine, using our lasers and whatnot. And this stuff just changed her health around big time. So we got involved part-time, sharing with people and doing like little meetings in our clinic for about 2 years. And then we went full-time back in 2010. And I really just thought if I got enough doctors using it, it would be a great tool to enhance their clinical outcomes. And it did, and it does. But I couldn't quite get it to duplicate. And I was trying to get other doctors to share it. And it wasn't their focus. It was just a cool tool. I have a handful that did, but so we did okay for a good number of years, but it wasn't until 2018 in July, this is when the new stem cell activation patch came out, and it changed my life. It changed the company's life. And so why I'm kind of really wanting to share and focus there is that this one patch actually does in my personal opinion, what all of the other patches do. So here we are now. Why is this thing so powerful? Well, David went from kind of like a phase of energy and pain and sleep into an anti-aging phase, which is kind of when I dropped in to LifeWave, and then into now a regeneration phase. So this phase now is what I feel is like the coolest thing, because stem cell therapy is like the hottest thing in medicine, the most controversial. It's expensive. There's different types of stem cells. And so when he came out with this, we were seeing changes that we were seeing before, but with combination of patches. This thing is just one, and it does so much. So I tell everybody now, for simplicity, for affordability, do this one and see what happens, and give it at least a month to 3 months, because we're seeing the changes that we were see with other patches, but combinations and that sort of thing. So why is this thing so powerful? So what it does is it increases a peptide that's called GHK-C. It's a polypeptide that we already have in our body. So everybody goes, oh, I don't want too much copper, it's not good. I'm like, it won't make any more than your body needs. So that's what makes it so exciting. They never overstimulate your body. They help balance your body. So as we age, we have less of everything. It's just part of aging. But the reason why we have less of it more is because of toxicities, stresses, EMFs, bad water. I mean, there's so many things that are breaking our bodies down to accelerate the aging process. And so David spent his whole life trying to reverse that. And now he's come up with a therapy that actually does it. It's called phototherapy. They're all called phototherapy. So what is phototherapy? So if you think of like sunlight, that's called photosynthesis. Sun hits our skin, we make a suntan or vitamin D. It hits a plant, it makes a plant grow. So that's a very specific wavelength of light. This patch has a very specific wavelength of light that my body recognizes and starts increasing this peptide to a healthier, youthful level. So what it does is it indirectly turns on my older stem cells. So it makes my body act like it's 20 years old. So imagine being 60 and your body's regenerating itself as a 20-year-old. And this is what makes this thing so exciting and so powerful. So I tell patients all the time, what do you know about stem cells? And they're like, oh, I've already tried it, or I've looked into it, or I can't afford it. And I go, well, what do you know about the latest technology and stem cell activation? And they're like, I never even heard of it. And I said, well, I just found this stuff, and it's really doing a lot for me and my patients. So I'm always saying, you might want to look at this. And their first question is, how much is it? And I tell them the price, and they're like, it can't be that good if it's that cheap. And I go, it's not that it's just that it's affordable for people who can't afford the injections. And now what makes this so cool is this one little patch turns on my body's stem cells throughout my whole body. And now they're actively working everywhere. It works systemically. So it's not just the one area where you get an injection on your knee or hip or shoulder. It works on my whole body. And we have visual pictures of people having before and afters after like 3 months, a year. And I have doctors saying there's no way they did not have plastic surgery. It literally looks like plastic surgery. I mean, they look 10, 20 years younger. Their chin's all different and their wrinkles are gone. And it's hard to believe, but that's a direct reflection of what's happening on the inside of your body. The skin is an outside reflection of what's going on. So if your skin looks better and your fine lines and wrinkles are disappearing, the same thing's happening on all of your vital organs, your hormones, your brain, your everything. So we're literally seeing age reversing effects now, not age slowing down. That's the anti-aging. We're now regenerating the body to get younger. So the longer you're actually on it, the younger you're going to be. So yes, I found out what I want to be when I get older. I want to be younger. Yes. And this is the therapy that does it.
Yeah. And I wanted to add, for those people viewing this, I love Nikola Tesla. And this is quantum-based Nikola Tesla-based technology, age reversal, just to relate it back to that. And how brilliant is David Schmidt to have used all that sort of, vortex, whatever torus kind of knowledge that he has, and ancient Greek light therapy, which is what they used in ancient Greece, and to put it in this simple patch for less than a cup of coffee a day. So I'll just let you continue. Sorry for interrupting, because I'm all about quantum, so I just wanted to add that in. So what's your suggestion in terms of where to patch? I think you said pretty much anywhere, other than the suggested. And this one here, most importantly of all, I believe is like 12 hours on, 12 hours off. So I'll just let you continue, Dr. Nicholas.
Yeah, so the reason why you wear 12 hours on, 12 off is that your body can eventually acclimate to the frequency. It's like having a screaming kid and eventually you don't hear it anymore. So you want to break. Even though you take the patch off, your body's still turned on those stem cells. They're still actively working. It's like starting your car. You don't keep turning the ignition even though you got it running. So you need a break. So that 12 hours on, 12 off. So you wear it for 12 hours. You can do it morning or night, but not the whole. And you take the back off, put it on the suggested placement, which is back of the neck or below the belly button. They did studies on those points. They're the most common points that they've used over the years and saw very significant responses. But again, you can hold it in your hand. It's fully activated right now, just touching it. The only thing, the difference is if I take the back off, that's just a Band-Aid adhesive. It's non-allergenic. It's non-transdermal, meaning nothing goes in your body, no chemicals, no drug. So when I talk about wavelengths, this patch is body heat activated. So if you put on like infrared goggles, you can see at night vision goggles, you can see orange or red colors coming off of a human body. That's a EMF. That field of energy is what activates the materials inside the patch. So what's in the patch? Everybody asks me. I'm like, well, it's made up of organic amino acids, sugar, and water, and it formulates into like a little tiny crystal. So under a microscope, it looks like a salt crystal. So everybody says, well, why do you have to only wear it 12 hours? Why can't you recharge it? And I go, well, it's like a battery or an ice cube and it melts. And when it melts, it dissolves and then it loses its effectiveness. That's what makes it a consumable therapy. Okay. So like I said, you can put it anywhere. I have people say their hand hurt, they put it on their hand. They said their knee hurts and they've tried it on the suggested placements, but they said they felt even more symptom relief when they put it over the area of pain or symptoms. And then they see a more of a response. Not always, but sometimes you do. So I always tell people, try where it hurts first. Then people say, yeah, both knees hurt. I put it on one knee and the other one still hurts. So I put another one on. I go, okay, you can't mess up. You can't overdo it. But one is enough. Okay. So you get 30 patches, a sleeve like this with 30 little individual patches, one a day for 30 days. And I, again, always recommend 1 to 3 months or until your symptoms go away. If you only want to be symptom based, I'm lifetime. So I'm like, why would you want to stop? It's kind of like drinking water. You need it. This form of healing is probably the simplest, most affordable thing I've ever seen in anything. I've seen a lot of things. I've been to a lot of different anti-aging conferences, read a lot of different things about different forms of therapies. And this is probably the simplest and it just works so well. So
yeah,
that's what I would start with.
Yeah, thank you. So just because we're still on longevity, I also now wanted to introduce X49, which is one of the newer patches. So I am tending to wear both the X39 and X49 together, and I'm noticing a lot of changes in my muscles, and of course there's good for bones and so on. So I wanted us to, again, everybody, I just want to stress, I always say start with X39, as everybody knows, but I've started incorporating some other patches after 3 months because there's some other things I want to address. So this is why we're covering the rest of the patch range. And again, take what resonates with you. We're not saying wear every single one. We just want to introduce you to the range so that you better understand, and depending on what your concern is, you can better target it. So I just wanted us to talk about X49, your experience, how it can help us, and just how long we should wear it and where we should patch, please, Dr. Nicholas.
Yeah, so X49 is the daughter patch to the X39. So when I talked about the peptide, it's called GHK-CU. That's X39. It's a copper peptide. So the X49 makes A is an apple HK-CU. It's a different targeted specific form of a copper peptide that's for stem cell activity in muscle, bone, and nitric oxide for the cardiovascular system. So it's real targeted specific to increase muscle mass, as you were talking about, which burns fat, and then increases bone density, and then also with the nitric oxide, which helps the cardiovascular system, really specifically giving you a lot more energy. It also affects your blood pressure in a positive way. So it's like X39 does all that, but this is like a booster, so to speak. Excuse me. So I always tell people, if you want to enhance your benefits of X39, X49 is the key. So it's like, think of it like a good, better, best protocol. So you're going to get more energy, you're going to get more stamina, you're going to get a lot more strength, and you already get it with the X39. It's just, if you want more, this is the way to go. So it's just like a booster. But it really, I've had people say they've had a lot more decreased pain, and I think it's just the regeneration effect of what it's doing. None of these were actually, or these two were never actually made for pain reduction, but if it's regenerating your body, well, eventually you shouldn't have pain, right? Because it's regenerated. And that's why people say, I've had pain reduction from it. So this is how I say it starts covering all the bases of all the other patches. Meaning, like, if you have less pain, then you don't need ISO. X39 increases glutathione by 30%. So you don't technically need more of the glutathione if you're trying to look at good, better, best, or affordability. So I can attach every patch back to the X39. So if you're not getting the pain reduction with the X39, then yeah, add IceWave with it. Okay. That way you can get more faster results and then drop the IceWave off, but continue with the X39 for the regeneration effect. Okay. So that's how I kind of tie them back now, where I used to use a lot of combinations, but it was overwhelming for people. And then if they didn't get the right results, they're like, oh, I didn't do it right. And I was like, okay, this isn't working. It's not duplicating. So I needed it to be a simpler way, and again, affordable, to make it work for people. So that's how I would generally tie it back.
Yes, agree. So how long should the X49, assuming people are doing the protocol as I am, wearing it with X39, how long should they wear it? And where do you suggest maybe is a good place to
Well, they
catch
use
on?
the same two placements, back of the neck or below the belly button. I've had people stack them on top of each other, still doesn't interfere with each other. It's like one wavelength here, one wavelength here. They don't interfere. They don't like cross interfere. You can do one during the day and the other one at night, or you can wear them both during the day or both at night. It's just find a fit for you. So I always tell people, start off with it during the day, see how you feel, and experiment with it. So that's the thing. So technically, you can actually wear both of them forever. I mean, I'm choosing to do that. I can afford to do it. I like the results. I want to stay as young and healthy as I can. I like to walk my talk. But again, it's a personal preference. But if you can only do one, it'd be the X39. Bottom line. It's kind
Yes,
of our
and
crown jewel foundational patch to everything.
yeah, and that's like a 12 hours is sufficient for that.
Correct.
And
Yep.
yeah,
All of
fantastic.
them are really 12 hours on, 12 off. I used to wear them like 24/7, and David got really strict on, you're not going to have the same results. The studies that we're seeing is so much more effective with a 12-hour on, 12-hour off period. So I've had people say, oh, I wore it for 5 days and it was still working. I'm like, oh, the patches wore out, your body's working. And that's
Yes,
the thing. People don't understand how the body's the one doing the work and healing. So a lot of times your symptoms will subside and they think, oh, the patch is still working. The patch is worn out. And you don't want
yes,
to leave it on too long because for hygiene issues, I've had people have some pretty interesting skin rashes just because they didn't take off the adhesive. And
yes,
it's,
yes.
again, non-allergenic, but how often do you wear a Band-Aid all the time? And if you're going to wear these forever, you want to make sure you take your time, clean your skin, change placements so it gives you other areas a break, that sort of thing.
Yes. Also, we don't want we want the body to do its self-healing as well and not become dependent. So it's then going to become dependent on the patch. And then when they take it off, like it might just halt the progress, I feel, as well, of the body doing some of the work. It's like, you need someone holding their hand all the time. Well, you need to let go of the hand so it can actually do what it's meant to do as well, I believe.
Yep. Yeah. So there's no wrong. I just have seen it do so many things over the years, and I try to tell people, do what works for you. If it's just to get your heal on your symptoms or whatever that may be, and then you can choose if you still need to do it or not. So there's not like a right
Yeah.
or wrong. It's just a
Yes.
priority. So for me,
Yes.
I just see the priority of my health, and it saves me money on other therapies that I don't really use anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I want to cover the anti-aging range, in particular the three that people can buy and really well priced, which is the glutathione, the Aeon, and this one. So
Honestly, yeah.
these are my favorite, and like you said, the glutathione I don't wear every day. This is like my first aid kit. These are my first aid kit, is what I call them. And what do I have them? So, for example, in winter time, I tend to put this on because it helps, in terms of antiviral and what have you, ward off all illnesses. So there are reasons. This one here, sometimes I have inflammation, like I have fallen quite a few times on ice, and I found this was my saving grace. And in addition to adding on to the X39, I found it's really made pain go away. So so that's why I have these guys. This is my medicine cabinet. So I'm just going to get you, Dr. Nicholas, to go, it doesn't matter which order, on this
Yeah.
holy trilogy, I call it, for me, for my medicine cabinet.
So the first YH, they call it YH, why do you want to age? Those are the anti-aging patches. The glutathione was the first YH patch. So glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. So when you talk about you like to wear it during the wintertime, and what it's doing is it's increasing massive amounts of this master antioxidant. So if you think of like vitamin C, one molecule of vitamin C can neutralize one free radical in the body. One molecule of glutathione can neutralize a million free radicals in the body up to 3 times before it neutralizes itself. This is why it's considered the master antioxidant. So what glutathione does is it helps to get rid of free radical damage, chemicals, metals. It's made in your skin, it's made in your liver, it's made in the lens of your eye, and it also helps to get mercury out of the brain, which goes past the blood-brain barrier. So this attaches that, pulls it out as well. This is what makes this thing so exciting. But it also supports your immune system dramatically. So it's again what got our attention and hooked us, because it will increase your levels 300%, some people up to 400 to 450% in a 24-hour period, which is like medically unheard of. Okay. So we need that to keep our bodies detoxing, because the environment's so bad. You can go anywhere in the world and there's toxicities everywhere. So it's just the way life is. So that's what David invented, that to help for your skin complexion, but detoxification. So that was the first anti-aging patch. The second was carnosine. So carnosine is another antioxidant. It's made in our it actually increases the integrity of the cells. So you're made up of cells. So basically, it makes the cell wall stronger, last longer. Again, slowing the aging process down. It makes it more permeable, so you can get nutrition in, bad stuff out of the cell. So it also helps to with muscle repair. So like when you have exercise, you have lactic acid burn. This helps to neutralize a lot of that, and then helps you recover much quicker. So a lot of athletes will wear that. And it also helps with your heart, because your heart's a muscle as well. And it's also clinically proven to help with memory loss as we get older. So it's really a kind of a unique YH anti-aging product as well. So then the last one is Eon. Eon was our number one seller before X39. And the reason why is it helps to lower inflammation. All your inflammatory markers are lowered, and it also lowers stress. So what happens is it takes your brain and nervous system and goes into an autonomic response. It takes you out of the fight or flight response, which most people are in, especially after COVID. And so you can be the healthiest person, dietary wise, nutrition wise, but if you're in a fight or flight response, your body is only working on the lower centers of the brain, and the blood's going to the muscles to survive. So digestion doesn't work properly. Okay. So when we had Eon come out back in 2012, we were seeing a significant response of people getting better, even with all the other patches, because it took you out of that fight or flight response, and all the inflammatory markers were lowering. So whatever disease state it is, a prolonged inflammatory response causes pretty much all diseases. So we can just get away from calling it any name, just lower the inflammation, lower the stress, and your body will start to get better. Ultimately, that's what it's doing. It's a self-healing survival mechanism in the body. But the Eon just supported it dramatically. So that's where Eon became a really popular patch, because a lot of people got a lot of pain reduction from it as well. So instead of doing Ice Wave, which is like a 2-patch system, this was one, put it where it hurt, and we had a significant pain reduction. So it became my go-to for pain management for simpler purposes. So that's the YH system.
Yes, yeah. So, so again, 12 hours, and any particular placement of this patch, or the same as what we said in the X39,
They
or on the
give you,
pain spot
yeah,
is where I put the A on, yeah, with the
they
X39.
give you suggested placements. There's 5 different ones. Again, they did studies on them, so that's why they kind of like those points. But again, I've had people put them on their body where it hurts, and they said it worked amazing. The most common place was the back of the neck. Again, it was right over the spine, over the nervous system, to help with lowering that stress hormone and getting the body out of fight or flight. So that was kind of like the most common point. So yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
12 hours on, 12 off. I mean, I have people say I wear one patch during the day and the other one at night. And it's like, there's not a right or wrong. David really liked people wearing glutathione during the day for detoxification. So if you're sleeping and resting, you're wearing it at night, you're kind of laying in it, and it's better to be moving. So that's why he was suggesting wear glutathione during the day. And carnosine helps you repair. So it may help you sleep. People have said they slept better when they wore carnosine at night. So it's kind of like you can do it anyway, but that's sort of the pattern people have found that works better. So that's what I
Yes,
would.
yes. I must say I'm wearing glutathione at the moment. So winter time I wear it every day, but when I'm sort of out of winter, I kind of do it like every second day. And it's interesting. I was guided by Mother, Father, God to wear it during the day for effectiveness while I'm actually moving. So it's interesting that you said that as well. So thank you for that. That's amazing. So we'll just cover the other 3 now, in also under the category of anti-aging, which is the Nirvana, the mood enhancer, Aloe Vita, which also has like a beautiful cream regime for our beautiful face to glow, and SPC Complete. So if that's okay, Dr. Nicholas.
So SP6 was designed for, it used to be called Simple Plan 6. So it was kind of like for weight management control, but really controlling your appetite. So it helped with sugar cravings or food cravings. It signals a part of the brain that helps you kind of control that. Okay. But what we found was it worked really, really well on any kind of craving. So if you're trying to quit smoking, it gave you that assistance. It doesn't make it stop, but it helped curb the craving feeling. So we found people who had craving issues of all types, it worked on any kind of craving. What makes it really exciting, though, is it works really specifically on the same part of the brain that regulates temperature. So women who are going through pre and postmenopausal symptoms of hot flashes, they found it really get those down under control. And then we found women who are having an imbalance in their menstrual cycle, it helped balance and regulate their menstrual cycle. And then at the same time, a hormone imbalance, it helped to balance that as well because it's affecting the same part of the brain. And then we found if you have a migraine headache associated with that time of the month, it dramatically lowered that as well. And it isn't just symptom relieving. We found it balanced the brain, which helped you get things in order. And we've seen it in a month, 3 months, but it really seemed to support those symptoms. So that would be SP6. So it's a really targeted, specific for real kind of specific symptoms, but works really well. And then Nirvana is our only patch that has a nutritional component. So the nutrition is made up of 3 different nutritions. I can't think of what they are at the top of my head. It's all natural, and it helps to create a euphoric experience in your brain, like a mood enhancement. So it's like a happy feel. So it takes you out of a state of like mild depression. It takes about 3 weeks to fully kick in. But the patch actually amplifies the nutrients. Okay. But you actually already have some of this already in your body. So people were using the patch only and saying it still worked. So, but again, give it time if you're going to use that for that specific type of problem. And then the Aloe Vita was kind of cool because it was our kind of a pre-X39 phase. So we went into the regeneration phase. Aloe Vita increases a peptide that's made in our skin called epithalamine. And this peptide tightens your skin. So it works from the inside out. It affects the part of the brain that controls and regulates the brain. So the pineal gland is like your third eye, and that little pea-sized brain controls and regulates the frontal lobes, the pituitary, and the hypothalamus of the brain. And then it affects your organs and your hormones. So it really was an inside-out regeneration patch. Now they did a daytime, nighttime moisturizing cream to work from the outside in as a hydrating effect to the skin. We can't buy them separately. I use aloe vera at night. It really helps you sleep. It's cool how it works. And you'll have some really vivid dreams sometimes, so just be aware of that. Not to freak anybody out, but it's a cool.
Oh dear. Yeah, we might get some past life revelations.
Something.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
coming forward. Yeah. So would you also say that Nirvana would help, for example, I find it's helped people that are in a very depressive mode, and when they've combined it with X39, it's really helped their mood and them in terms of turning around. What would you say to that, Dr. Nicholas?
Yeah, X39, they did studies on the brain mapping and stuff, and it was amazing how fast it works. So anything neurological, I mean anything, and that's a depression included. It helped with the balance of the brain. So then if it balances the brain, it's balancing chemistry. So you're gonna affect that mood. Okay. So if you again need more support, yeah, do that combination and you'll see a really significant response because we've had people that are all different types of issues get well from just X39. But if you need more support, add that with it until you get balance, then you can stop or do whatever. But yeah, that combination is very cool for that.
Fantastic. And again, it's the 12 hours. Everybody just
Yeah.
want to clarify, and the same patching protocols that we discussed before equally apply here. And always there's a little booklet inside these patches that, that do, make a suggestion. So look at that. Okay, so the the second last one I wanted to look at before we get into pads is the quality of life. And for the quality of life, we have the energy enhancer, ice wave, and silent nights. So I thought we'd investigate those, please.
Yeah, that's actually the first combination that started the company back in 2004. So the energy enhancer patch, it's a two-patch system, a white patch, tan patch, positive, negative. They use them on polarity points on the body. So what it does is it signals your body to burn fat. It's not weight loss. It's more for energy production for, you have little engines in your cells, they're called mitochondria, and they need fuel, and the fuel is called ATP. So it signals your body to burn up to 500 calories at resting, and you're going to get a hit from them from 4% up to 400% based on physical activity. So me sitting here doing nothing, I'm not using any energy very much. But if I get up and ran or lift weights hard, I'm going to activate all of my mitochondria and all of my large muscles, and my body's going to produce more fat burning to give me more clean energy. It's not like caffeine or a sugar high. It's more like a fresh feel. Okay, that's how they work. So they balance systems. I've had people put them on and they were kind of down depressed and they came up. I've had people that are hyperactive and they came down. So they really should be called energy balancing patches more than energy enhancing, because I've seen it work on so many things. Again, supporting, giving more support to whatever your issues are. So that was the energy. So then we have actually what was cool about energy was it actually gave a mild pain reduction. So David went back to the drawing board and he souped up the tan energy enhancer patch to make it a lot stronger. And then he made the pain patch. So the white one is identical to the energy patch. The tan is just stronger. So it doesn't burn more fat. It doesn't give you more energy. It does something completely different now. So what it does is it'll lower temperature variations about 4 degrees in 5 minutes. So that means it's going to increase circulation through the area. The white one's putting energy in, the tan one's pulling energy out. It circulates through the area of where you're applying it. And so you're trying to find that right pattern that gives that circulation effect the most dramatic reduction, and you'll see a significant pain reduction. And I've seen it do like 50% to 100 in seconds. But
Yes,
it's like,
yes.
it's really wild. It is healing. It isn't just symptom relieving, just as a side note. And then the last one is the silent night. So silent night was really cool because it balances the brainwave activity to get you into deep restful sleep. They did studies back in 2018 showing that your brain builds up a protein during the day. And if you don't burn that protein off during dream state sleep, it builds up in the brain. And they now can actually prove that's what's causing all this memory loss as we get older. So if you're on a sleep aid, you're unconscious. You're not sleeping. Okay, get the difference. So you want to get into that dream state, REM sleep, and that's what the patch helps to support the brainwave activity. Okay, so that would be the 3.
Yes, yes. Now, again, do you suggest for this quality of life patch range 12 hours? I hear that some people are leaving that ice wave patch, which is the the pain relief one for longer. What's your take
Yeah,
on?
I mean, you don't wear the ice wave all the time, so it's not going to hurt if you wear it 24 hours. But after 24, it's pretty much worn out. And usually
Yes,
people are out of pain in a couple of days, so they don't wear them. They use them as needed, you know,
yes,
like you were saying in your medicine cabinet instead of a medication
exactly.
patch.
Exactly. Now, everybody, for these patches, I have prepared a blog on also patching protocols that David and others have suggested. For the ice wave one, there isn't a one size fits all. So please have a look at all the videos that I have on my blog page, because it depends where your pain spot is, where you place those. So it's not going to be like behind the neck where we've said, or below the belly button. So please have a look at those videos. And the last one I wanted to cover, and I have had a lot of my clients using it for their pets, is AccuLife. But I also wanted to say, Dr. Nicholas, is that I have a lot of people also using X39 for their pets. So let's talk about our pets, because they're our family, so they need to be looked after.
Yeah, so I have a 19-year-old rescue dog, multi-doodle, and she has a few teeth left, and she runs around still like a puppy. These patches have made her live, and no one can figure it out. I mean, it's truly a miracle. So yeah, I patched my dog, I patched animals, I patched horses. AccuLife is actually the ice wave, just so we're clear. It just packaged differently with instructions on where to place it on a horse. That's all. It's the exact same patch. So don't think, oh, I got to have a horse patch because it's a big animal. These things are so powerful. They work on anything living. Okay. So, but yeah, I patched a lot of animals. They work great on animals. I've had people say, I wear my patch for 12 hours and I give it to my dog for the other 12. You know what I mean? You can get real creative with them. You can put them on their hips, on their spine, or I put it on her dog. Okay. So, because it activates 3 to 6 inches off the body, they're fully activated. So, if it's on the dog collar, the dog's getting it throughout the whole body, and it works really well.
Yes, yes, and some people have so that I'm so glad you said the dog collar, because some people said to me, "Oh, Maria, it's so difficult, to put it on their skin." And one of my clients actually puts it on the bedding, so when they sleep, they're kind of sleeping on it during the night. Is
Yep.
another little trick that's worked for them. And I have heard some amazing testimonials. I also have another client where their dog had surgery, and they actually also put the Aeon patch around their sort of stitching. So never on the wounds, but they put it around the wounds, the X39 and Aeon. And when they went back to the doctor, they said, the doctor, what's happened? This wound has really healed with this dog. What's going on? And she said, oh, well, I'm putting these patches. And they were like, my goodness me. So, so Aeon was another one that I recently found out that people are using with X39 and or AccuLife, which I thought was fascinating.
Yeah, so the pain management combination before X39 came out was Eon, Ice Wave, and glutathione. They used to sell that as pain management because those three together do various things for pain. Toxicity for glutathione, which lowers pain, Eon, anti-inflammatory, and then Ice Wave, increasing circulation. So that was our pain system. Okay. So for me, when I started talking about pain now and get into a pain management combo, I say X39 first. If you need more support, then Eon. And if you need even more, glutathione. And then if that's not getting it, then add Ice Wave. But I do it in that order, and I found it to be the most effective, and it's affordable again. So I'm trying to keep it simple, and it's duplicatable, and anybody can do that. Now, when you start messing with Ice Wave, there's a whole lot of moving them around and patterns sometimes that people are like, I can't get it to work. And like, it's just, that's the part that made it a little frustrating. So that's why I like Eon first, or X39 Eon.
Yes, I agree. And that's what I also recommend. And that's why I also went and found whatever videos I put on Iceway to put on a blog page, because I was finding some of the clients were finding it challenging in terms of where I put it here. Do I put it under my feet, Maria? Do I put it on top of my head? And so whereas with that one, with that three combination, you just can't go wrong. So that's amazing. So, Dr. Nicholas, I wanted to ask, was there anything else you wanted to add? I mean, you've done such an amazing job, but was there anything else you wanted to end on, whatever note? Yes.
I just think that, just use them long enough to make sure you give it a fair try. I've had people say, "Oh, I tried it." And I go, "Well, how long did you try it?" "Oh, one day or a week." I'm like, "Okay, that's not cutting it." Okay. You got to give it time. The body's a self-healing organism, but your body's going to be different than my body, to anybody's body. And we're giving you these great scenarios, but no one's ever walked in your shoes. No one's been in your environment. Okay, however old you are, your history of your family, genetics, all that. So you really want to be a good solid time frame. So be patient with it. And I had a lady on one of my calls, and she's 76. She's a retired nurse, so she's very medically background, and she had the pins and needles on her feet, without calling the disease. And she said, "I wore X39 for 4 months and it finally went away." I said, "Well, that's an interesting time." I said, "Why 4 months? Because most people quit after 1 to 3." And she said, "I've tried everything else and I didn't know what else to do." And I kept listening to all these people have these stories, and it kept her plugged in. So that's another thing. Get involved with calls, listen to the stories, because it keeps you motivated to know it's going to help you. It's just when. We never know when it's going to do it. But if you do it consistently over time, it's going to fix stuff. I mean, it's crazy what it does. So give it time and just do it until your symptoms go away. It could be a year, but it's something you can do yourself. You don't have to go to a doctor. I keep telling people, when in doubt, pass first before anything. And a lot of times they're like, "It worked." And I'm like, "I know, it's cool." So it's simple, it's affordable. You do it yourself, and then if it doesn't work, then go do something medical. That's
Yes.
just what I think.
Yes, I say to people, it's less than a cup of coffee a day. So
Yeah.
I don't understand when people say, "Oh, I think that," it's like, hello, you spend more on a cup of coffee, which is not even serving your higher purpose or your health in the
Yeah.
long term. And this is less than a cup of coffee a day. You gotta be kidding me. So people spend more on eating out cups of coffee. So again, it's what priority do you place on your well-being
Correct.
and your ascension? We choose, we decide. And it's interesting, Dr. Nicholas, I've seen so many amazing things happen to me. I've always been a very healthy person. After my 20s, when I was ill, I adopted a lot of ancient Greek healing. One of them was light therapy that they practiced in ancient Greece. This is why I got onto this. I was very excited. And I have to tell you, people are telling me, they look at me on video 2 years ago and they say, "Maria, we don't recognize your skin, your face, like you're glowing. It's like you've reversed your age." I mean, they're telling me. And not only that, I've used these patches because I've fallen on ice in New York City so many times. And this has been my saving grace, the three that we, discussed before, the A on glutathione and patching up with X39. And I didn't need to see sort of doctors. I have not been sick. Why? Because wintertime, I get my glutathione, I'm onto it. So again, this is your medicine cabinet. We're not saying you wear all of this every day. It's called preventative and maintaining good health. This is what this is all about.
So that was it. That's beautiful. So
Thank you.
I'm good. Thank you for having me on. It was an honor and a pleasure, and I hope it helps your people, and just wear them. So it's cool.
Yep, exactly. Give them a go. And again, there is also, David also has like a money back guaranteed. Have a look at it, preferred. And again, join as a preferred customer so that you're paying the wholesale rate. So I just wanted to emphasize that. And there's two amazing now type of preferred customer plans. I've updated my website to reflect those. Again, links in the description up the top. Follow those. I have so many videos, including one with David, and I've given you all the information you need. Thank you, Dr. Nicholas. God bless you for your time, for your wisdom, for your knowledge, and I'm so honored to be a part of your team.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. So, all right. You have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. God bless everybody. And as I always say, agape, unconditional love. Okay. Thank you, everybody. God bless.
Bye.
One more time, Lynn. Come on, tell me it again. So,
The whole story, or just
Dr. Lonnie
make it
Herman,
shorter, make it
he's
shorter.
here
Just
with
say,
his mother.
I had-
Get together so I can get how great this is. This is like,
had open
isn't
heart
this great? Let me
surgery.
get, hang on. Smile like you're happy to be here.
Open heart surgery 15 years
Open
ago.
heart surgery in
Now it's time for
2009,
another.
second heart attack in 2012.
Okay.
Went to a new cardiologist. He did an
Echo.
echo,
Yep.
came back. PA said to me, "What are you doing, Mrs. Seagraves? Your heart is reversing. You're supposed to have additional heart disease at your age, and you have none. All your tests are coming back perfect." I said,
Wow.
"I'm patching.
I'm patching.
Patches are doing it."
Yeah, I love it when she
That's
says, I
what's
pull
doing-
up the shirt on the belly.
Pulled up the
I
shirt,
show them on the back of
showed
the
my
neck.
back of the neck, showed my belly, showed my hand, showed my ankle,
And they're now they got the information.
and now they have the information, and hopefully they'll do something with it.
I love it. Thank you for sharing, Lynn.
You're welcome.
Cheers, cheers, cheers. Cheers to
Hey, oh, you should know. I just matter. Where you from? Korea. What you do? All the manners. Stay kind. Spread love. And posit. Me tell you. You are love. I love you. You could do anything. Go get it. I love you.